Adam Carolla, welcome to the John Curley Show. And I got to confess, probably about 12 years ago, I was driving over the I-90 bridge, and I heard you complaining about pimples on your neck. So I thought, I know the answer, but I got to have some credibility. So I lied to your producer and said I was a dermatologist, which then you made fun of me for about a minute. And then I told you you're shaving incorrectly, and there's where the pimples on your neck are coming from. And you're like, all right, okay, all right. And then you hung up on me. So how are the pimples on your neck doing?
Ingrown hairs, I think they are.
I told you, but I was a doctor for 1 minute, Adam. I told you, you're shaving the wrong direction.
Well, listen, but it's because my neck hair grows a different direction than my chin hair, and that's where I get in a problem. It doesn't grow in the same. If you look, you'd see different patches of my hair grow different directions, and that's where the ingrown comes in. But no, for some reason, I don't get them. I don't get it anymore. I used to when I was younger.
I cured it for you. Besides, you also refer to your hair as a Jufro, so that was your other problem that you had going on.
Yeah, when you get older, everything just sort of mellows out. Maybe it's preparation for death or something, but my hair, thankfully my hair's still pretty thick and intact and all that stuff, which is a blessing to men of a certain age.
Got it. It was funny. I played something. I've been a fan of yours for a long time. I played something for my wife yesterday. She's like, I like this guy, but after a while, his voice starts to bother you. I go, I know, but that's the beauty of Adam Carolla. Once you can get past that part of it and you really dig in and you hear what he has to say, he's often been described as uncancelable. Are you still a person that cannot be canceled?
I mean, I guess we should try to define that.
Yeah.
You can't be canceled if you create your own content and commerce and have your own audience and so on and so forth. You can be canceled if you work for ESPN or Disney or whoever, whatever entity. Or if you work at McDonald's, you can be canceled. Just take a whiz in the freezer, get caught, and then get canceled. You know what I mean? So as long as you have a boss and a corporation and, an apparatus who's employing you, then you can be canceled. If you, do what I do, you don't really have the apparatus. But, but no apparatus also means no 401k and no health insurance, So, and everyone kind of does that. Oh, I want to be my own boss. Yeah, until you get sued when you try to fire somebody, then you don't want to be your own boss. You want to just work for the corporation, So, I don't really have a job that can be canceled, so I'm uncancelable for that. But if I worked for the Disney Corporation, I would definitely be canceled.
Yeah, and I'd keep you away from the ice machine at McDonald's.
Yeah. Although I did work at McDonald's, but I always worked the grill. I never did drinks.
So for those people, a lot of people that know you and just can't wait to see you tee off on just the idiocy that happens in California and around the world. Here's a cut. I love this. This is you talking about, and the theory is that with the fires in L.A., people are going to wake up. As you described them, all these liberals that are up there on the cliffs enjoying the ocean and everything are going to wake up and they could possibly be transformed. Here's a little bit what you said.
These are all sitting around crying about Karen Bass, water pressure, how come the forest wasn't cleared of all the brush. You guys all voted for Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles. You all voted for Gavin Newsom. And now you get what you get. All these people are now going to have to pull a permit to rebuild. And they're going to get the 28-year-old from the Coastal Commission telling them to go off. And then they're going to vote for Trump or whoever's Trumpian next. You see, they're going to get turned between the part where they go in initially and try to pull a permit to the time the first load of 2x4s is dropped off or their house formally stood, it's going to be 3 years.
Still stand by all that?
Yeah, I do. Because I've been trying to build in Los Angeles, my whole adult life. I mean, I used to work as a contractor, so I was sort of on to the city and the regulations and the permits and that process for a long time. And I've always talked about it, and no one cared. And now, in the last 10 minutes, other people seem to talk about it, and people seem to care.
Do you think when these guys try to pull this permit, do you think they'll slowly begin to realize these are the people that we supported, these are the rules, the regulations, these are the permits in order to save the environment, everything else, and then they'll go, well, we don't like it? Will they start to actually move towards the right or the center, or will they just simply make a few phone calls because they know enough rich people to be able to circumvent those rules and regulations that are put in place for all the rest of the common people?
They'll basically start down the road that Bill Maher started down a few years ago. He was always very left and progressive, and then he had to go pull some permits for his solar at his house. And once he started to try to pull permits for the solar, that's when he started to sound a little more like me.
Yeah.
But it was really the process of having to build something and seeing just how big and intrusive this city and the state is. I mean, I tried to get solar. I tried to do solar at a house 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago. I tried to do solar at a house in the Hollywood Hills. And I was like, I was remodeling. I was doing like a big remod on a house. And I was like, if I'm doing a big remod, I want to do solar. And I started to inquire about solar. And they said, well, only in Los Angeles do they require a master cutoff switch outside of the gate. So you have a house, it's got a gate, and the master cutoff switch needs to be outside the gate.
Uh-huh.
And they said nowhere else. Everyone else, you just put it on the panel. But only in L.A., it's got to be the outside. If you have a gate, it's got to be outside the gate. And they said, I don't know why, but it does. And I said, well, how do you get the master cutoff switch to the gate? And they said, well, you have to trench about 300 feet and run conduit and then put it on the outside of the gate. And I said, that's way too much work and too expensive, too big a hassle. And they're like, I agree. And I never got solar. But they want you to get solar.
Right.
That's the funny part. They keep begging you to get solar, but then they love solar, but they love regulations more. And so they put things in place that are sort of nuts and, again, don't exist in other municipalities. And people start either they don't get solar or they move or they get like Bill Maher, which is they start getting angry.
How much of that, Adam Carolla, do you think is the people that are in these positions, the bureaucracy of the city or the county, because they're envious, jealous, they don't like the rich guys, so they're going to get in there and they're going to just make life difficult for them?
Obviously, they're. If you listen to them talk, it's always this rich guys. They never. For considering it's rich guys who pay all the taxes to keep the lights on, there's not a lot of reverence for those guys. It's a Democratic Party thing. They turn these guys into the enemy every time Biden talks, every time Kamala Harris talks, anytime Gavin Newsom, any of these people that are rich people that hang out with rich people that need rich people to fund their thing. Whenever they start talking about oligarchs and rich guys, they demonize taxpayers, essentially. And they're not paying their fair share. It's like that, but it's not. The higher income earners pay 13% state tax in California. I don't know. Why is that not your fair share? I mean, Bill Maher, makes $20 million a year. He probably pays $3 million in state taxes a year. Is that not good enough? School teacher who paid $180 last year in state taxes?
Yeah.
why is Bill Maher the problem? I don't, or whoever, Adam Carolla. Like, why are the big earners and the taxpayers, why are they the issue? It's class warfare. Yeah. It's a bait. I mean, it's all. I went through it already when I was young. I had a kind of stupid hippie mom, and she was always talking about, rich people. My mom said to me when she was like 84 years old, I said, something about taxes or something. She said, oh, rich people don't have to pay taxes. I was like, oh, we don't? This is all we do in California. Like, it's stupid. It's really narcissistic. It's also, I think they're shamed, but also that it's like the race hustlers. Like, the Democratic Party doesn't have to agitate black people all day, every day, but they do. That's how they think they're going to get votes. Just make poor people, black people, women, lesbians. Let's just make them angry all day,
right?
And then they'll vote for us. Except for we won't do anything for them because we can't do anything for them. Because what's Joe Biden going to do for black people, and what's he going to do for lesbians? What's he going to do? He doesn't care. But even if he did care, there's nothing to do. There's no laws that he can invoke, and there's nothing he can do.
Yeah. But other than make everybody angry as they go after somebody else, I saw that the great debate is coming up, the great freedom debate. One of my favorite people, Barry Weiss, is putting this together. And I see that you are still hanging in there. It looks like you will be. Does the West need religious revival? Join us for the live debate. And I looked like, wow, Adam Carolla's in on this one. So I thought I'd grab this piece of sound from you. I don't know how long ago you said this.
The fundamental reason there is a religion is so that we can experience life after death. All we know is life, and we can't wrap our heads around no life. We can't emotionally or spiritually wrap our brains around that idea. So it's like, what happens after you die?
Nothing. So when you get in there, you're going to be debating these two other folks to talk about still there is no need for religion. You're still sticking by that?
No, I'm on the side of I think we need religion.
Wow, then they wrote it wrong. Yeah, because they have you as I was shocked because that's why I wanted to talk to you, because now it's like, no, you're like, the religion's important, maybe not the organized thing telling you got to do this or do that. So why are you now in favor of religion? Because you've always described yourself as an atheist.
Yeah, but I was always wanted religion for other people, not me.
That's right. Right. Because Dennis Prager says when he's always asked about that, he always goes, no, Adam's okay. He gets a pass. He doesn't need religion. So it's like the same thing as public transportation. 90% of want people to take public transportation. They want everybody else to take public transportation, not them, right? So you're in favor of religion, although you are an atheist. So why are you going to be advocating for it, even though it's not important for you?
Well, obviously, I've seen societal decline, and also, as somebody once said, although I don't know if they know who to attribute it to, when you get rid of religion, you don't get nothing. Something takes its place. And who do you think was doing all the real enforcing of COVID? Religious people or atheists? In L.A., COVID became their religion. And the environment is their religion. And then they do a lot of destruction in the name of the environment and or religion. And that's kind of the problem I have with it.
Do you think that people reject religion because what they're trying to do is reject an institution that they're afraid is going to judge their behavior, when really their behavior should be judged?
Yeah, for me, it's just, if you just get back to the golden rule, we'd be in pretty good shape here. But and it's hard to tell. Things are cyclical in terms of they have it, they don't. It ebbs and it flows. gin was popular in the 30s, and then it went out of favor, and now gin's popular again. I don't know how things work. Maybe it'll work that way with religion. But I personally would like to get a little more religion baked in, because religion, look, I don't have a copy of the 10 Commandments tattooed on me, but would I prefer we all live by the 10 Commandments? Yes, I would. And I'm like, when they want to have it taken down from in front of the courthouse or something, I'm like, leave it up. And they're like, you're an atheist. Why do you want it up? Because I want everyone to do what that thing tells them to do so we can have a better society.
Right. You said the Bible's title, the new title for the Bible should be No Duh.
Yeah, well, it is. It's like, don't kill anybody. Don't covet your neighbor's oxen. Don't have sex with his wife. It's pretty basic stuff.
I think most people agree with no sex with the ox. That's probably pretty good.
Oh, yeah, maybe I misspoke. I meant the guy, the wife.
That's right. No, we got it. All oxes are safe. Well, Adam Carolla, I can't wait to watch and listen the Free Press, what Barry put together. You get in there, because I've watched you debate Gavin Newsom, and that's one of my favorite pieces of audio I found in the last week. I think it's a while ago. He's like, well, blacks and Hispanics. You're like, why? Well, right now they're struggling. They don't have bank accounts. Why? He's like, well, they don't. And, well, I mean, it affects everybody. He goes, then you said, well, why Hispanics and blacks? And he goes, well, I mean, everybody. You didn't say everybody. So why? Why? And the guy sat there and you pounded away at him. I'm like, God love you, Adam Carolla. God love you.
He's a buffoon, and that wasn't a debate. That was him just saying the same thing over and over again. He didn't even defeat me.
All right, Adam Carolla, travel safe. Stay away from the oxes or those that enjoy oxes more than they should, all right?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. There he goes, Adam Carolla.